All right. Have you been in a wreck? There's not a whole lot of time to put underwear on.
You're right.
Because you're not even thinking about it.
Oh.
And then you're doing a Britney Spears.
There's
Is she the one who did that? Who did that? Was it Britney?
What,
or Lindsay Lohan?
Put her underwear on.
Who? Hey everybody, this is Gina Trimarco.
And Rachel Tipton.
And we are Women Your Mother Warned You About.
The podcast that makes sales sexy again.
So let's buckle up for this next real, raw, relevant, and irreverent episode. So here's the thing I want to talk about today, Rachel. It's like a never-ending annoyance to me, the trolls. And I'm calling them trolls on my Knoll.
Where's the Knoll? What kind of Knoll? Is that with a K-N or an N?
The only Knoll I know. The only Knoll I know is K-N.
Okay, so Describe a Knoll.
Okay, so think about like you've heard the get off my grass.
Yes.
So this is my get off my grassy knoll.
Okay.
Rant.
Just checking.
Yeah. So I'd already been calling these people trolls. And then I came up, because I'm creative. Knoll. Get off my knoll. Anyway.
Trolls on a knoll.
Trolls on a knoll. These people, we were talking earlier about internet marketing. So it's along those lines of people who are using social media, in my opinion, in the wrong way. Oh, the ways. There's so many of them. I'm on like a crusade. I feel like we know I start too many businesses, so I don't want to start another business. But the people on LinkedIn who will friend request me, I'm going to pull up my LinkedIn, or request to be connected to me. Like, oh, I saw your profile and you sound so interesting and we have some people in common, like we should be connected. I'm like, okay. But now I'm like so skeptical. I literally feel like I'm in a bar and I've agreed to accept a drink from you and then you try to take my pants off. That's how I feel on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and they do it on Facebook for sure too. I've got a story. I'll let you share some LinkedIn ones
I thought
first.
Today we could share some stories.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. I'm like, we also need to share some solutions. And I did post this online today to like get people's stories. I don't know what the solution is, so maybe we can figure it out today and talk through it. So here's one. Oh wait, hold on, let me find it. I'll look for it while you tell your Facebook story.
Okay. So on another one of my businesses, I was sending out invites to like my new Facebook business page. And this young lady reached out to me and said, hey, I forget her pitch. I should probably just pull it up so I can read off of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold, please.
Okay, well, you pull up that pitch because I've pulled up another pitch. Jeffrey.
So many pitches.
So many pitches.
So many bitches.
I was a while ago, Jeffrey Gittimer said to me, do you want to write an article about pitches from bitches? And I kind of hesitated. That's what started this whole podcast because it was
pitches from bitches.
Well, no, it's about standing in your personal.
That's trademark, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Don't touch it. I was thinking about standing in your personal brand. Like you have to be willing to stand in your personal brand and be like, I'm okay with saying pitches from bitches. So I get a lot of bad pitches. So I get another one of those. This isn't even a connected person. This is just someone who randomly that I'm not even connected to messages me. Hi, Gina. I came across Women Your Mother Warned You About while working on a new appointment setting system for a client. It looks like you're in the B2B sales space, and from the outside, seems like you have a lot of similarities with our other successful clients. Recently, we helped one of our clients generate 7 new clients at $15,000 per client within his first 2 months and turn this strategy into an automated system for bringing in more appointments and sales every month. Any interest to chat this week to see if we're a good fit for your business?
Cut, paste.
I have different responses every time. My response this time was yawn.
Oh. So here's mine. I got mine.
Okay.
So she said, hi, Rachel. Thanks for inviting me to your new business page. Have you reconsidered about social media advertising. So I must have had a conversation with her in the past. I can't recall the conversation. We are blah, 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 and we get blah, blah, blah per month on our social media sites. Let me know if I can email you or our current email packet or a good time to call you. And I was actually really in a hurry that day, just busy with just all kind of things. So my quick response was, thanks, I already have a social media manager. It was kind of like a blow off. And
thanks, no thanks.
It was a thanks, no thanks. And I let her know I already have someone who possibly I'm paying to.
That means you're willing to spend money.
Right. And what she did was she unfriended me, was number one. And she sent me back.
That's so
Yet
grown up.
You're the one inviting people to like your page. Good luck with that.
Bitch.
So I said, wow. Here's the conversation. I said, wow, insulting a potential customer is not a great way to get business. Please note, I was in a rush when I answered you the first time. And as soon as I sent the message, I was thinking, maybe I should look into what she offers. But that response just lost my business. And then she goes back and forth to tell me that, basically she tells me she was in the market looking for a house. So I just lost her business too. It was like really funny. But really in the end, because of that conversation, I actually did go to her site. I started researching her. I researched her.
You're intrigued by who's this bitch.
Yeah. So she actually intrigued me, but yet
interesting.
But yet she didn't just keep in mind that sometimes a no is a not right now. And she didn't just dig deeper into, well, what are my people doing for me? Why am I of the person, inviting to my business page? How could she possibly help me? Maybe she could offer some value. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it was so much blunt to the point of like, oh, you don't want me? Well, then F you, and off she went. And furthermore, I was going to call you for business, which of course she wasn't, you can spit and find a realtor, but like, it was just like such a jab. And, and actually I said, she said, it was a statement to make you rethink how your social media manager was working for you, not an attempt to be mean. So she did.
Wait. Is that what she said, or is that what she thought you would interpret?
That's what she said in this statement. And
the original.
Oh, no, the original was, have you reconsidered social media advertising? And then when I said I have a social media manager, she said, yet you're the one inviting people to like your page. Good luck with that.
How does she know your social media manager's not doing that?
Well, first of all,
people have access. I have someone who has access to all my
First of all, it was
accounts.
like a bold-faced lie. Like, I was just blowing her off to give you like, I'm fine. I don't need your business.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, it was just that.
I know, but it's like you shouldn't be making assumptions about your potential buyers.
Yeah. In the end, I said, so have statements like that caused other prospects in the past to rethink their social media manager and then go with your service? And no answer. She didn't answer me after that.
Yeah, I do get intrigued because then I like check them out to see like, do they have any success? Or I did this the other day. We were talking about this. I get all these calls from India. Nothing against India. I don't want to get letters about that. But I get out because they call and say, hello, we are calling from India. And do not get mad at me for making accents because I'm a performer. But
wait for it.
Hello, I'm calling from India, and you bought a domain name, and we have a website market. Like, it's the same script that they're all following from all these different companies. Good for them. They are out there in your face. I'm just so tired of the calls. Now, granted, I own a gazillion domain names.
Me too. Raise your hand out there if you're a domain name addict.
Yes. My name is Gina, and I'm addicted to buying domain names.
Me too.
So
hashtag me too.
Oh my God. Oh no, we'll get letters about that too.
Okay. I love letters.
We love, hey, complaints means we're doing something right. Which reminds me of the, Jeffrey Gittimer knows this, but we are part of the Seller Die Network, so I'm going to talk about them. That's how we really like created a bond over him being pissed off about something I did.
He was pissed about what did you do?
He was pissed about, well, he was pissed in general about an interview I did with someone, a podcast interview on the Pivotal Leader podcast that I also do. And he listened to it and it evoked him, which is great. And he wanted to give me his perspective on sales. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. That's how this whole crazy relationship started. I've lost track of what we're talking about.
Well, I'll bring it back to this lady that even though her approach was not great at all. Don't insult your customer. That's probably, unless you're that's your shtick. When I looked up on her website to see what she was actually selling, they have one package that they offer and it's $2,000. That's all they offer. Oh my
gosh, she needs help.
One package for $2,000. And I was like, okay, so wait a second. So you're selling $2,000 packages and obviously she's sold some.
She needs an ascension model.
I couldn't believe that she dropped the ball so quickly after that and just blew me off and ran away. I mean, even though I was a little bit difficult, but like, especially in the real estate business, if people come and show interest in a property or look into a website and look through website at a listing, and then you contact them, or I contact them, that is, since I'm a realtor, and they say, no, not now, then I'm like, great. And I put them on my call list in 2 weeks. And then I put them on my call list in 6 months because they're looking, they're doing something. And going back to the fact that I said, I have a social media manager, that let her know that I do believe that social media is important. Some people don't, so at least I was,
or they don't
understand.
They're overwhelmed by it. So they don't understand it.
Right.
Oh, so I was talking about the guy with the website, right? You need the website. And they go through this whole script, which I'm like, it's kind of interesting. I've been studying because I get so many of these calls, and the pattern I've noticed, which is something that we learn in improv, is identifying patterns of behavior. The pattern I've noticed is they literally are reading through whatever script they have, like, and we are from marketing company and we're going to do and like they don't take a breath and they don't let you speak. And I finally I jumped in. I go, stop talking, stop. I'm like, I'm going to give you some advice right now. I'm going to give you some free sales advice. I don't know you. You're calling from India. I don't have a relationship with you. I get 10 of these calls a day. I'm not buying from you. You need to find a better way over there in your communication. Like, come on. I want to know what their conversion rate is. And I've even asked people, I've asked these LinkedIn trolls. I'm like, how's this working for you? I'm confused. Well, I want to know what your conversion rate is.
Going back, Gina, to your analogy that you started about somebody buying you a drink at a bar. So if you think about, and I did a couple of courses with Digital Marketer. You can look for digitalmarketer.com. They're a great resource for anything digital online. They have wonderful courses. And in one of their courses about email marketing, they use the analogy of dating and relationships, kind of like yours. So, when you see someone across the room at a bar and you make eye contact and they seem interested, like someone arrives at your website, right? Mm-hmm. Then you don't want to just run over there and ask to get married, And that's what a lot of people are doing.
You really want to have sex, but you're not going to necessarily say that.
Right. You at least want to first get their name, maybe get their digits.
Right.
And then come back to them, see if they want to have coffee. Then see if they want to have dinner. Then you can move into the next. Me. Yeah. And that's the same in sales that people forget. They're like, hey, how are you? Let's have sex and get married. Is like their sales pitch.
I did write an article for this on Forbes. And if you go search it, well, maybe
and surely it'll be in the show notes below.
Yeah, I was going to say, Doug, put this in the show notes. So the title of it is Selling is Like Dating. Does dating long-term relationships mean more than... Oh, yeah. I'm trying to read the link. Selling is like dating. Long-term relationships mean more than a quick sell. So I literally have started responding back to people saying, could you buy me a drink before you do this to me? So this guy... No, I'm serious. I'm like, before I sleep with you... I've had guys go, oh my gosh, that's funny. I'm like, good. I'm happy it's funny. So this guy says... This was someone who, and I already replied to him. I'm like, I'm going to talk about you on our podcast. I'll just call him Jason because that's his name. And his title on LinkedIn says, I show coaches and consultants how to attract affluent clients using Facebook ads.
Affluent.
I don't know if my affluent clients are like sitting on Facebook. They might be.
They're busy being affluent.
Yeah, we know a guy who's not on Facebook. His name's Keith. He does want to be on Facebook, but maybe he's running from the law. I don't know. He's never really. Daddy.
Well, the truth of the matter is that social media can be a real time suck if you allow it to be, and highly productive people generally, if they're not using it for advertising, stay away from it.
Know where your clients are.
Yeah, exactly. And
so I've done all this research on for podcast sponsorship purposes. We're accepting sponsors, by the way. That was a seed. That was a selling moment. And
subtle.
I'm not subtle. I'm a woman your mother warned you about. So a lot of people listen to podcasts are on Facebook and on Instagram. Those are the two top. Twitter's kind of dwindling. LinkedIn is okay. But those are the two top. So the point is know where your customers are. So this guy says, hey, Gina, thanks for connecting. Like, okay, well, you connected with me, but you're okay. Curious. Are you interested in attracting high-ticket clients from Facebook ads on a small budget? If so, I have a free webinar I'd love to send you a link to. It's all about the exact method that's working right now to attract high-ticket clients from Facebook ads on a small budget in under 15 minutes a day. Wait, and then he goes on. Wait, he says...
Oh, sorry, I was falling asleep. Oh, sorry.
Wait, there's more.
Oh, God.
He says, Jen. Who the fuck is Jen?
Wait, I know a Jen.
He cut and paste. Could you type in the right name? Jen. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. Jen, who's a case study in the training, was recently able, but see, people like their names, right? So I'm assuming he's calling me Jen when he's telling me a story about Jen. I don't even know who the hell Jen is.
Right. That's actually a really good demonstration of how, when we look at something like that, we are thinking about ourselves.
Exactly.
So don't be telling us about some other girl when you first meet on the first date.
Who's Jen and why do I care? Jen, who's a case study in the training, was recently able, well, you know what? If you're going to talk about Jen, tell me where Jen is. I want to go look her up, right? Who's a case study in the training, was recently able to get over $30,000 worth of clients on a very small ad budget.
Is this going to take much longer, Gina?
And stay awake, everybody. Stay awake, Warners. And Michelle, another case study.
How many girls does he know?
Was able to get $24,000 worth of clients really quickly on a very small ad budget as well. Just reply with the word yes, and I can shoot you over a link to the webinar. And if you're not interested, no worries at all. Take care, Jason.
Keywords being shoot you.
Yeah. Wait. So you need to...
Is there a PS?
No, there's my response.
Oh.
Which is the best part. Jason, shame on you. Horrible approach to trying to vomit your services on me just because I accepted your LinkedIn request. Wine me and dine me a little bit, brother.
Did he respond?
Thanks for the feedback.
Let's shift gears for 1 second about the people who use social media to basically date rape you. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, some people are going to have a visceral reaction to that phrase, but go on.
Well,
it's all good. But yeah, but we're talking about
when people and when people don't ask and they add you to their group, which is a sales group. and then suddenly I'm in some group where somebody's selling to me when I didn't even say I wanted to be in the group. It feels like date rape. It feels like a violation, and it makes me so mad, and I don't care what you're selling at that point. It makes me not even want to have anything to do with you. And I can freely admit that in the past, I tried a couple of network marketing businesses in the past, and I was guilty of vomiting all over people,
because that's how multi-level marketing companies
what they teach you.
teach.
Yeah, and
I'd
I
love
tried
to
it.
take over that industry.
Oh my gosh. And I tried it, and I probably had decent results because I'm so damn persistent compared to other. But the fact of the matter is that people, number one, they don't want to be vomited on, like you just mentioned by Jason, and they definitely don't want to be pulled into a sales situation that they didn't even ask to be pulled into.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you show up on the used car lot, you're expecting the used car salesman to walk up to you. Like, if you don't even go to this used car sales lot, you don't want them showing up at your back door,
Well, and you go to the car dealership also with trepidations, like a girl going to a bar, right? Like, okay, I am sort of looking, but I want to be in charge of this sale. I want to be in charge of my buyer's journey. I don't want you running this. Mm-hmm. Is it a matter of ignorance? Because I know early on, I raised my hand, guilty. Early on, I put people into groups.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't know any better. But
dirty bird.
I just don't see that as a phrase coming out of your mouth.
Dirty bird?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's straight out of the Stephen King's Misery.
Yeah, no, I know. You dirty bird. Early on, I did that. I put people into groups, and someone did get mad at me, and I learned my lesson.
Right.
And then that was, we're talking 5 years ago. I mean, that's like still in the infancy of Facebook, in my opinion, of like doing those things and figuring those things out. Even for our group, for the launch of our podcast, I created a launch group so that we could get a group of people together to help us launch and market us. You have to actually request to join the group. But I marketed it out on our page. If you want to be part of our launch team, I was surprised to see so many people like raising their hands wanting to be in the group. So you just have to have some etiquette.
Well, and I think we forget online now that things have become so digital and you're not actually facing a human, that developing a relationship, and especially a sales relationship, it's still a human being who has feelings, and they also they know when it's icky. They can tell. Like, it's like, hey, if you know someone raised their hand in terms of they're checking out your stuff, then that means they're interested. But that still doesn't mean they want to, press real hard, sign right here and make 2 copies, and buy today. Like, they might just be checking it out and come from a place of like, hey, what are you looking for? How can I help you?
Well, it's about creating some consistency that's not in your face, selling, pushing you to buy. I mean, that's how you and I met.
That's right.
I still don't know how you found me.
I wish I could rewind back to, okay, so I'm pretty sure I started following you on Facebook because I heard about, or maybe I was even at the North Myrtle Beach Mall and saw your theater that wasn't open at the time, and was intrigued because my background is a show business. I looked it up, looked you up, and then heard your name around town. So I just think I was following you, and I know that.
I think you friend requested me, and I was like, oh, we have people in common. I'll accept her.
Right. And that also was probably in my network marketing phase where I would friend everybody with a pulse.
Yeah, I'm selective now. I'm must
very
be
selective
like
now. Just so
50
you know,
requests for me.
You got to have a really good reason. I have to know you, or we have mutual friends. And now I'm selective. I used to be like, oh my gosh, they're breathing. I'll friend them. Maybe they'll buy something.
Like, oh my gosh, look at how many friends I have.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how do I get rid of these people? Well, I do have 2 different Facebook pages. One that's my personal that I wish I could move most people out of. And then Gina Trimarco, a business page for Gina Trimarco. Like, that's where I'm trying to push from a business perspective.
Right.
So I don't think everybody wants to see all my like pictures of my broken arm and things like that.
True story. Well, and I just saw an Instagram post of Gary Vaynerchuk talking about, and he was basically speaking more to millennials probably, but really to everybody in general, that we put so much stock into how many people are following us and how many people like a picture. And I mean, really, does it really matter the numbers? No, it doesn't. What really matters is each and every customer or client and what that relationship is with that particular person, because the house is built brick by brick.
Yeah.
And if you create great service for a client, then it'll spread out. But if you just are worried about numbers all the time, then you can't create authentic relationships.
Well, you want qualified leads.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw out a giant net and then try to work that whole net and then not find. You want to know who your ideal client is. You want those people to follow you. We're going to do a whole nother episode on personal branding. That was another reason why you and I started this podcast, from a personal branding standpoint. You're either going to like us or you're going to hate us.
And we accept you all.
And we love you all, even if you hate us. Because you might change your mind. It might be a no now, and I love you later.
You know what? And going back to same thing with the girl that approached me on Facebook. As I said, instantly when I sent her the blow-off message, my mind went, maybe I should take a look at that. So people change their mind, and it's always a good reason to just treat people courteously and with respect as much as possible. Every once in a while, you want to be a little snarky and have a little fun, but in a good-natured way, like not in, well, I was thinking of buying a house and now I just won't buy it from you. Like it was...
Na poo poo.
Yeah, boo boo.
I want to find another one. While I look for another interesting one on LinkedIn, and then we need to come up with some advice for these people. I'm seriously, several people have said to me, maybe you should do a webinar on this. I'm like, yeah, we just need to, maybe we can pound out the points right now.
How about a podcast like right now?
Yeah, we'll do it right now.
Well, number
right
one
here.
would be, remember that every social media profile picture is actually, most of the time, I guess, a human being who wants to be treated like they're important and not just a number and not just somebody that's being cut and paste to, because we can tell.
Yeah.
That's number one. Like,
I want to be
real
special.
Person.
I want to be special.
Online relationships matter more than ever now because everybody spends so much time online. So you can't just be you can't be creepy, you can't be slimy, you can't be fake. Like, you have to, if you want to really get results.
That's number one. Number two, we need to give them some advice on, because I've had people ask me this, because I've posted this several times now on LinkedIn where I'm like, don't do this. And people say, well, what should we do? Okay. Connect with me on LinkedIn. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so let's pretend I'm reaching out to you. Mm-hmm. Let's say, because I do a lot of social media now, I want to help you with social media. Then I see we have connections, and I'm going to research. There would be number two. Research your prospect.
What? Spend some time doing extra work?
Yes.
Crazy.
Because guess what? If somebody has a profile on LinkedIn, I bet they have a Facebook with them. Not all of them, but
yeah.
They probably are found somewhere else online. They probably have a website there, right?
Yeah.
So you can do some other research, and then I would reach out and say, hey, Gina, my name is Rachel. This is what I do. I noticed that you do this, and I thought I might help you. Would you be interested?
Yeah.
Is that too much on the first date? What do you think?
I think that works. I tend to, in general, not just social media, is like, how can I maybe compliment that person?
Ooh.
If I'm checking them out on LinkedIn, or maybe I've seen a story about them, I might send them a message that says, hey, just read this article about you. Congratulations. That is so cool. Or that's awesome. And, I see we have a couple people in common, take care. It's kind of the subtle, see me now in this hot red dress. Gotta go.
Ooh.
And then I might come back with something else later. It's kind of like that slow drip mentality.
Yep, even slower.
Even slower. It's it's romancing it.
I guess it's true, because if you come and approach someone out of the blue and they don't know you and they don't have a real connection except for maybe some mutual contacts, they're going to be like, oh, I saw this girl in this red dress. Wonder what she's all about. And then they might go look.
Yeah.
And they can easily on social click on your profile and go over and check you out.
Well, they want to be, I think most people want to be in control of the journey. So don't push me. Let me just kind of breathe it in. Let me stalk you. You know what I mean? People are always watching you. Even if they're not appearing to be engaged, they're watching you. They're taking their time on their terms to get to know you the way they want to get to know you. So it's about treating people the way they want to be treated in that process. And then you watch for buying cues. Like I look at a lot of different buying cues. I look at who's opened our email campaigns. There's some people I know that I don't have the best relationship with anymore that I've seen has been opening our emails multiple times. I find that interesting. And that's more like they want to know what we're doing. But there's also those people that will continue to open the emails because they're continuing to follow us or follow me until they're ready to make a move. They're getting to know us at their pace. And then when the opportunity is right, out of nowhere, that's when you're like, oh my gosh, this person just called about wanting to work with us.
Oh, and sometimes it could be for years. Like
for years.
I've got a mentor and I consider him a mentor. He's been a mentor of mine since 2012. And I've been watching him and I follow him and I'm on his email list that I get an email daily. And one day I'm going to invest in one of his workshops or one of his programs. I've bought his books.
Yeah.
I just right now is not the time. He is incredibly knowledgeable and quite pricey. And that's because he's incredibly knowledgeable. And I know this. And I know one day I'm going to invest. And so he's got a really great team that they engage all the time. They promote their products. Mm-hmm. They present their products.
Yeah.
And they're very good about it. But they never push their products. Because they know they offer enough free content all the time that they know I'm right there. I'm a raving fan. I'm right there.
Right.
One day I'm going to purchase as long as nobody pisses me off and, slimes all over me.
Right. Well, that brings us to the difference between marketing and sales, right? Marketing is continuing to promote.
There's a difference, Gina?
What?
Wait, what?
What? Sales is not marketing. Marketing is not sales. You don't have to agree with that, but that is it. I started out as a marketing person because I didn't think I was a salesperson. I guess I was hiding from it. But marketing is like putting all the stuff out there and being consistent and having the content, giving people an opportunity to get marketing is the foreplay. How do you like that?
Where you're going with this, Gina?
Marketing is the foreplay before you close the deal. Boom. Then you better know how to close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't get me all excited if you don't know how to close the deal.
So I'm thinking back about our earlier conversation about your purse.
What about my purse?
The one that has the erectile dysfunction. The bag. What's it called? It's some designer bag.
It's a Dagne Dover, Dagne Dover. And actually, it's a killer purse. And frankly, I am one of those people, and I don't know if anybody out there is like me. I am super vanilla. I'm super brand loyal.
What's vanilla?
Oh, I'm just plain. I was thinking for a minute. Brand loyal. If I find a brand that I like, I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
And that's, so I have this great bag, Dagne Dover. The reason I love it and the reason I bought it in the first place is because I can fit my laptop in there and I never go anywhere without my laptop. And there is a little bit of erectile dysfunction with this bag now that I've wrote it hard for a year.
No offense to guys who
No problem. Because
you wrote it hard.
I did. I wrote it hard for a year. Took it everywhere. I'm very hard on bags and shoes. And so I did all this market research of can I find a better bag that will fit my laptop? And then this morning I was like, I had another bag. I was looking at it. I was going back and forth comparing, and I just bought the same bag, but in a different color because it has everything. It's a great bag for somebody like me that I'm going to the gym. I'm carrying this bag. I always have my laptop. It's a really cool bag.
I want this bag with this Dagne, whatever this thing is called.
It has a cup holder
that you keep your underwear in.
I do. I showed it to Gina earlier. It has a cup holder that is like, which is cool because you can stick your coffee cup or your like cold drink,
Well, I mean,
and it won't leak all over your laptop because it's a neoprene
Yep.
thing.
I do that all the time in my Louis Vuitton side pockets. Not a smart idea.
Well, see,
But
Dagny
it
Dover's
holds-
thinking about it. But it also is good if you want your underwear, because I just think it's a good idea to have a pair of underwear, an extra pair, just in case.
You're right. I never thought about this.
Didn't your mother teach you that?
She taught me to wear clean underwear. She did not say anything about my mother did not. She did not tell me to carry extra underwear. She said wear clean underwear.
Oh, okay. We might get into
That's taking it. You know what? My mother was off the boat from Germany, so I don't think they were lucky they had underwear. Maybe she just didn't think about it.
I don't know. Maybe it's a dancer thing or a fitness thing of like, just it's nice to have an extra pair of underwear.
Why not just go commando?
Well, or also if I'm already going commando and then I might need some underwear. What if I get in a wreck and then I need to put some underwear on really fast?
All right. Have you been in a wreck? There's not a whole lot of time to put underwear on.
You're right.
Because you're not even thinking about it.
Oh.
And then you're doing a Britney Spears.
There's
Is she the
got to
one who
be
did that? Who did that? Was it Britney?
What,
Or Lindsay
that-
Lohan?
put her underwear on.
Who got out of the car and it was like a crotch shot.
Oh. No, I don't know.
I don't remember. It was a long
follow
time
those
ago.
things.
Yeah, it was a long time
Anyways,
ago.
if you're the type of girl that feels that you might want to bring extra underwear and cold drinks, Dagny Dover's for you.
Well, wait. You know what? I think Dabney or Dagny?
Dagny with a G.
Dagny. I think it's like Dagwood. I think Dagny should be a sponsor of us. I think so. Or at least give me a free bag.
Definitely. You know why? Because they actually have their finger on the pulse of the businesswoman who is on the go.
Well, no, I mean, that's brilliant. But
purse.
here's the thing we can do. We can give them some free advice. They need a compartment for underwear. Like it needs its own compartment. Think about it.
That would a subtle one.
That would make
when you open your purse that your underwear doesn't fall out in front of everybody.
Exactly. And it's like you can't see. It's like a closed.
I actually have 2 pairs of underwear right now in my purse.
Are they both in the cup holder?
One is outside.
Outside where? It's like outside pocket? Where like you keep pens and you pull a pen out and it's like, look at my panties.
No, it's in the main compartment because I actually need to return them to somebody.
What? Whose underwear do you have? I don't want to know.
We'll just leave that right there.
Anyway, Dagny
Dover.
Dober or Dover?
Dagnedover.
Dover, like Dover Soul.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to remember by Dagwoods and Dover Soul. Okay, so Dagny Dover. We're giving you some free advice here. We need a compartment for underwear.
And we need less erectile dysfunction.
And less erectile dysfunction.
I think if the laptop compartment was in the center of the bag instead of on one side, it wouldn't slump.
Yes, this is an engineering issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, that's what my research was, is that I couldn't find a bag that had the laptop compartment in the center. They're all on the side. So they all are suffering from erectile dysfunction at some point.
This is a problem. And there's not a pill for that.
How did we get this subject?
I don't know, but it's about unique selling proposition, because that's what you should really be doing when you're trying to sell, is like what makes you stand out, which is another episode we'll be getting into. Let's talk for a second, because this is another one of my rants. The people on Facebook who send me these messages. Hey, Gina, what's your face cleansing process like? What? Do you know how many of those I've received?
Are they Rodan and Fields people?
Yes.
Now,
exactly who they are.
disclaimer, I use Rodan and Fields and I love it. It's killer. But I know...
I hear it's amazing.
It is, but they're turning you off because of the approach, right?
I won't buy it because of it.
Right.
I won't even try it. Although I hear their mascara is great.
Maybe they should be a sponsor.
Maybe they should be a sponsor. Maybe I'll give second thought. So that multi-level marketing people, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah. It doesn't work. I mean, and I can say from having done it in the past that it sometimes works if you get the right person who's at the right stage of buying that really wants it. But we're talking most of the people are going to be super turned off, and every once in a while it'll work. And I know I've been trained in that stuff. They're kind of like talk to 10, get one, talk to 10, get one, talk to 10, get one.
Why are they still following that platform? I mean, a lot of multi-level marketing companies do that, and these women get caught up in it, and they go to their training, and this is what they're taught. And then, I mean, I've coached. Well, I coached a few when I was business coaching a lot. And then I got exhausted because they keep coming and saying, well, I need to build my upline and my downline and my sideline and my byline and whatever. They're trying to build their team and trying to get people under them in this multi-level thing. And they're being trained to do these things. Do these things work? I mean, I guess they do.
I think, and there are people that are making it work. So it's not, to down any of these people that are successful at it. But the problem is
I think that people who are early in on the ground floor of some of these companies.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's folks out there that are involved in multi-level marketing that are successful that would, love to jump on. And maybe that would be a great guest as somebody that's really successful in the business to talk to us about it.
Well, I actually want to bring on these two women, Amanda and Rachel. They're with, their company's called Tag Team, and they actually teach multi-level marketers how to do it a little bit differently. So we're definitely going to have them on in the future because and they're both very sassy brunette and blonde like us. Could you see the four of us together?
Is the Rachel the blonde?
The Rachel is the blonde.
I don't know about this. We'll have to discuss this off of camera or whatever. Okay. But I will say this, having been involved in more than one multi-level marketing, because I was sure I could make it work, but the fact that I didn't because I wasn't following actually what they really do advise, it goes back to the same thing. What we are saying is all about relationships.
Yeah.
If you want to build a team of people who's going to support you and really go with you, and that it's going to attract people rather than turn them off in the way that message you just read did to you. Yeah. It's about building relationships, and they do teach that. It's just that most people don't follow it, and they go, oh, they cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste.
Because people, I think people are afraid, not afraid. People don't want to spend the time creating relationships because they're lazy. In my opinion, they're lazy, or they want the fast payoff.
Another perspective on that is they're lazy. Maybe they're lazy, but maybe they're actually really just afraid of what it takes to build a real relationship is being vulnerable yourself. So if I really want to have, I think the reason that you and I have such a great relationship is that you've seen all of my ugliness. You've seen the ugly cry.
And vice versa.
You've seen me be ugly, and so I think people really are afraid in general to show the real side of themselves. They really are. I tried it once. This is so bad. And I got called on the carpet, and it was ugly. It was bad. So at the end of my last marriage to Roxy's dad, we were really struggling financially. And I was working, 600 jobs. It felt like it. And I
think it's always going to feel that way for you.
I think so.
Because you're a worker.
Yeah. And I do love it. But I sent out a message that was like to the tune of, hey, I'm busting my butt over here and my husband's not bringing in enough money, and can you help me out? Like, it was kind of that gist of that. Yeah. And looking back, it was a bad idea, but it was true. Mm-hmm. And that was why I was doing this other business. As I was trying, I hear I got a great sell from the girl, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's try this. And I really needed the extra income. And that's why a lot of people fall into these MLM traps, or not traps. They look into these MLM businesses, let's call it.
Yeah.
Because they genuinely want a side income, and they
want a side hustle.
They want this side hustle that you can just tell your friends about it, and then maybe they'll be on board. And that can be true. Very true. When I was doing the Beachbody business, I did Beachbody for a while, and I was successful at it because I was passionate about fitness. I still am. And I just kind of started vomiting on people. But, when you really genuinely do sell what you love selling, then it works. But you can't sell out of desperation, and you can't vomit on people.
People smell it. They feel it.
Yeah. So the bottom line is like...
Vomit smells bad.
It really does. But the way that you can sell anything is to genuinely create a relationship with the person opposite you, whether it's opposite on a computer or opposite the table, and then figure out if what you have to sell them is what they want or need.
It takes work, and it takes time. Don't vomit your stuff on us. I will call you out. I've even done this with a training that I did. I think I've talked about this before. Costco, locally, they do a networking event in the morning, like one of those, like, I don't want to say speed dating, but it's like one of those morning networking events. And they asked me to come in and do like an ambush type of thing with them. Like, so I put them all through this training session for their networking event. And it was speed dating, but it was a very special speed dating where they were required to do some certain things, like they couldn't ask questions, which Keith and I will get into it about questions, about asking too many questions. You have to have the right power questions, and you need to ask 1 or 2 questions and then shut up. But I put them through this task, and they all struggled with it because all they wanted to do was vomit on people and pass out their business cards. And I even, at one point, I stopped the event and I got on the speaker and said, "Put your business cards away." I wouldn't even let them hand out business cards. I said, "You need to earn the right to give that business card." They were all traumatized because they were carrying stacks of business cards in their hands and just shoving them in people's hands. I'm throwing your card away. I mean, see, I don't even keep cards anymore. You and I have talked about this. I'll take a picture and send it to you. Give me your phone number and I will text you my card. How about that?
Yeah, I think with smartphones, business cards are becoming obsolete in a way.
Oh, for sure.
It's just kind of a waste. Unless it's a really cool card. Now, I once had a business card, and I'm no longer involved with this particular business, but the one thing I really, really loved was every time I gave my business card out, people would say, "Whoa, that's a cool business card." That's the kind of business card you want. If you're going to give one out, make sure that every time you give it out, people go, "Whoa, that's a cool business card."
Yeah, and you're going to hold on to it.
Yeah.
I just purged the office, and I threw away thousands of cards. I'm like, why do I have these?
Oh my gosh,
I
have
care.
So many. Raise your hand if you have a stash of business cards you no longer use.
Like, I think they're leads. They're
I have
leads.
one of these sleeves that's like this 1,000 card one.
Yeah.
I've used this much of them.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I think we've exhausted this get off my Knoll, Mr. Troll.
I think people know to stay away from your Knoll.
Stay away from my Knoll. Well, we need to wrap it up. We went long, but that's okay. People like it long. So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for listening to this episode of Women Your Mother Warned You About. To connect with me, Gina, directly, you can visit GinaTrimarco.com. And for Rachel,
find me all over social media as Rachel on Real Estate, or visit me at www.theclosingcurve.com.
And what else should they
And, know? Speaking of social media links, find all of our... Squirrel! Find all of our social media links and free downloads on our website at womenyourmotherwarnedyyouabout.com.
Awesome. And please, 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 please help a girl out. Actually, help out 2 girls. Give us a rating and a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and download. We need your downloads. And remember, for the best relationships, keep it real, raw, and relevant.
And a little irreverence doesn't hurt either. Bye, Warners. This really will get serious soon.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. I don't think anybody wants it to be serious.
This has been a presentation of the Sell or Die Network. For more podcasts that you can take out into the street and turn into money, visit sellerdienetwork.com.